What will happen with Flare after the Clarity Act will be surpassed? As we all know, there is a big bill going to be surpassed in the US, and this is a massive deal. But there are certain things in this bill that actually makes you question what will happen with Flare after this law is going to be surpassed. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I'm going to be here bluntly honest with you guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. All facts will be on the table, and I will tell you what is really going on with this bill and what is going to happen with Flair. What is going on, everybody? It's King Karan with another Flair content for you guys. And I've got so many questions regarding this Clarity Act. Like, what is this Clarity Act? What will this do? What does this mean for people outside of the United States? And the last question, what is going to happen with Flair after this law will be put into stone? Well, first, let me start with any event what is happening in the United States. Can be CPI numbers, can be rate cuts, can be events in the stock market. It has a massive impact on crypto. It always has. If something happens in my country, in the Netherlands, crypto doesn't care. Crypto's not going to go down or go up because of some news in the Netherlands, right? But it will in the United States because it has a massive impact on crypto. And this Clarity Act is actually going to be a massive deal. But here is what happened because there's also a lot of misinformation regarding this bill. I've seen people being extremely negative, and you also have people who are extremely positive. But I'm just going to be in the middle here. I'm just going to tell you what is right and what is wrong in this bill. So, this bill is actually going to make sure that crypto in the United States will have rules. So, first, obviously, it was a gray area. Just like right now, it's still a gray area. You got companies that got sued for nothing, right? It's a wild west. People are shooting at each other, meme coins here and there. It's going crazy, right? So we're still in the gray area as of right now. But once this bill will be passed, DeFi, stable coins, anything what is happening on the blockchain will have rules. And with this, there will be more confidence. There will be more investors coming in. There will be financial institutions being more comfortable to invest in crypto, which is a good thing. But there is also a dark thing because these corrupt bankers made sure that people who are issuing stablecoin yield are actually securities. And that is why before the Clarity Act was ready to be pushed, Brian Armstrong was like, hell no, I'm going to withdraw. I'm not going to go into this, guys. And it's not only Coinbase that will have this problem. It's also other centralized exchanges like Kraken, Binance. You can name it all. If they're centralized, they are be in big trouble. If that bill would go through. But they didn't. Because Brian Armstrong, the founder of Coinbase, withdraw. And he was like, we're not going to be a part of this. And actually, Brian Armstrong is a massive individual that has a massive impact on this bill, obviously. And if a person like that is saying, I'm not going to support this bill, it's a massive thing. So that's why it got postponed, and they're probably going to change some things. But this shows that these bankers are not making any jokes. They're not here to have these competitions out there while they're earning more yield. And the banks are still just going to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, our time is passing. Yeah. Look at crypto. We're gonna give them the spot. No, that's not how bankers work. They will do everything to destroy their competition, guys. The bankers are the most powerful people in this world, and I can go deeper into this, but you guys already know probably. and they don't like that. They don't like exchanges giving out yield to people, actually yield that they don't need to do anything for it. They just get yield just like that. But there is a big difference because we're going to talk about Flare. Where will Flare be positioned into this? Will Flare also be into that category? Or will Flare be in the safe zone? I will explain this to you on the whiteboard. So, guys, let's get straight to the whiteboard. So, welcome, guys, to another whiteboard session. And let's dive into this straight away. You have Flare. You have centralized exchanges. So here is the issue that is on the bill. It's obviously about stablecoin yield. Right? It's about stablecoin yield. These centralized exchanges, they don't have the capability like Flare. They don't have oracles. They're not a layer 1 blockchain. They're just centralized exchanges, right? But Flare has an oracle, has a layer 1, and has smart contract capabilities. So regarding the stablecoin yield here, you have stable coins obviously being issued by different companies. You have USDC issued by Circle. You have USDT issued by Tether. And this is actually the issue, right? And decentralized exchanges are not going to give you decentralized yield on the stablecoins because they're actually giving you yield by using your money, just like the banks. Exactly like the banks. That is why the banks don't like this. That's why they put the stablecoin yield thing on the bill. But what is happening with Flare over here? I mean, yes, Flare has a stablecoin called USDTO, which is from Tether. And they issued this because it is multi-chain. USDTO is in every single chain. That is why they integrated it. But this is also an issue for Flare, right? So here's the thing. And here is the beautiful thing about Flare. If this stablecoin yield thing will get passed through, which I don't believe because obviously they are going to adjust it. So let's say the worst case scenario happens and this stablecoin yield thing will still be on the bill and the bill will get passed, which I don't still believe, but let's say it will. Well, then yeah, these centralized exchanges are going to be in big trouble because they're acting like banks, right? Just like these stablecoins that you see over here. And if you're going to earn those yield, it's because they're using your funds just like a bank. Obviously, with this USDTO, it's the same thing because it's issued by Tether, just like USDT was issued by Tether. But here's the good thing about Flare. Flare has the capability to create a stablecoin that is actually around this problem. Because when Flare is going to create a stablecoin, it's decentralized, permissionless. Flare is not a company, right? So it's fully permissionless. Just like FXRP, right? You don't need to trust Flare to mint your FXRP. And this is what Flare has to do if this worst case scenario happens. Because Flare has the capability to create a stablecoin because it has oracles, it has a layer 1, right? And it has smart contracts. These centralized exchanges don't have it. They're just like the banks. So let's say this is really going to happen. Then yeah, Flare has the opportunity to shine because Vitalik The founder of Ethereum is looking around and asking around, oh, where can we create this stablecoin that is decentralized? Well, Flare is the answer, folks. Because if the worst case scenario happens, Flare is going to shine. And when the good case scenario happens, let's say they will remove this from the bill, Flare will always win. Because Flare is fully decentralized and these banks cannot touch this. So I hope that you guys got more clarity regarding the Clarity Act. That you guys can sleep good at night knowing that Flare will not have a target on its back because Flare is fully decentralized, permissionless, and it's not like these centralized exchanges the way how they are actually giving people yield regarding on their stable coins. It's a total different game compared to Flare. But there is also one thing I really need to mention to you guys because this bill can change. And I think it will because obviously Brian Armstrong is not agreeing on the stablecoin issue. So I think that they might tweak a little bit. They're going to make the exchanges happy. Let's hope for that. Because just like I mentioned, we have these bankers who don't like this. So there is a big battle between crypto and the banks. Well, you have the government looking over from the top. And then there is a question you need to ask yourself. If you're going to use crypto, do you want the government to be fully on top of it? That's why this bill, you have good things, obviously, because you have financial institutions, you got retail having more confidence, obviously, into crypto. But at the other side, they also want to control certain things, right? So let's say the worst case scenario happens. Let's say the bill gets passed, nothing has changed. It will be a big problem for the exchanges. It will be a big problem for companies giving out yield on their stablecoins. But it will not be a problem for Flare because Flare is still in the safe zone even if the worst case scenario happens. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this content. Make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to put something down below. Let me know what you think about this Clarity Act bill, and I'll see you guys next time.